Well, hello, 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 Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, December the 29th, 2022. Thursday, December the 29th, the last Thursday of 2022. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I remember Ditos and Libby. Thank you. Subscribe. Oh my goodness, if you've been here more than twice on this channel, please subscribe and do a thumbs up on the video. But we're going to start out today. I felt a little sad because it is finally coming to an end. Lily and Billy. Billy was supposed to have planned a nice, my eye's a little puffy there. I think my allergies are acting up. This eye's been itching a lot. Billy was supposed to have been planning a romantic New Year's Eve evening for them, right? So Lily's at the park waiting for him. He walks up and he says, "Hey, Lily," and she goes like, "Hey," because she's still not too happy, but hi. And he's like, I was thinking, let's get out of our comfort zone this year. Let's stay right here at the park. We're going to have a unique view, vantage point of the fireworks tonight. And, this will be different. And she looks at him like, wait, what? Because they've always been a New Year's Eve couple to where they've dressed up and just painted the town, right? Or I think I remember one New Year's Eve, they were all dressed up and they couldn't make it out the door because they were undressing each other, But they always dressed up and did a celebration on New Year's Eve. Well, she goes, what? And she looks around, she's like, you want it here. And she's looking like right here. Yeah, we could see the fireworks over there, but right there, you're looking at Chelsea's apartment. Okay. See, right there, because they're in the park right by the coffee house. And Lily is like, not to mention Billy, she says, it's cold out here. Fireworks won't even start for hours. And this is the best you could come up with? And she's thinking, and I'm hungry, dude. That's what we supposed to eat. It's a bark. So he says, I guess, you know what? This week really did get away from me. It kind of got away from me. And she's looking like, you don't have a job. All you had to do was plan a nice, make a reservation, even if the reservation was at Stinking Society, okay? Make a reservation, something. And you couldn't do that because that project doesn't begin with the letter C, followed by HELCEA. Hey, you doing what you needed to do didn't spell Chelsea, right? So Lily pretty much told him, no, this is not working. And I've really been doing a lot of thinking, and we are just too different. And she says, Billy, when we got together, it was because of work. We worked together. We had that in common throughout, even, when they didn't have Chance come, they went to Chancellor Winters, they were still working together. She says, and we built a bond. She says, but you are going in a different direction, and you've been going in a different direction for months. And like, what do we have? What do we have as our bond? And she's right, because look, let's be real. Throughout the whole Victoria Ashland Locke situation, Billy was all preoccupied with Victoria. He couldn't see straight for thinking about Vicky, not wanting her to marry Ashlyn, no, no. But at least he had work that he still had to do, right? Even though he got set up and slapped in the face by the Newmans because he had to follow that path. You know, he was going to print this article on it. I mean, just Billy is Billy. So Lily's like, he goes, well, what are you saying? We're going to go to couples therapy next week. And she goes, you know what? It's really not going to do any good. I mean, just the thought of me mentioning couples therapy, I thought that would have been a wake up call for you. She goes, but you didn't even really seem to think that we have a problem. So really, Billy, what good is it going to do? So she goes, we need some time apart. And she's crying, and you know he's got little tears in his eyes. I don't see, I don't see that we can't get this back on track, Lily. I don't see it. And I'm thinking, yeah, you see it, but you don't care to recognize it. You see that the whole reason you planned your New Year's Eve with your woman, your significant other, you're supposed to love her. You decided it had to be somewhere where so you could still keep an eye on Chelsea. I got to make sure she don't put a red flag in the window. I got to make sure, okay? I got to be this close so that if I get a text from her, all I got to do is hop, skip, and jump, and I'm there. Okay? That's what that was. Even though he knew she was going to be spending the evening with Connor. He knew that. He was with Chelsea all day long. They even built a school project, a mock one. Okay? He was there all day. He barely, see, look, that's his day clothes that he was wearing when he built the project for Connor. He barely walked out of Chelsea's door to meet Lily when now he's staying close, see? And so Chelsea and Connor are Connor's having a hard time. He's like, goodness, he'd rather play a video game, maybe, doing this school project. And she was happy. Nope, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. We can do it. She goes, let's just turn in the one that's in the closet. And she's like, how did you see that? I was looking for some supplies and I see it's there. It's good. It's working. And she goes, no, Billy and I did that. Just as, kind of run through, got a little carried away. No, you're going to do your own project, mister. And Adam rings the bell and Adam comes in and Johnny's happy and Chelsea's off. Because see, Chelsea got Billy. Chelsea's got Billy. See, there we go. So he goes, hey, Dad, what's going on here? I'm doing a school project. Ugh, eggs. You gotta, how can you make sure the egg doesn't break, in this scenario? And he goes, oh, engineering. Okay. He goes, you could come up with a number of different interesting approaches to this, Connor. And he goes, well, Mom and Adam already built one in the closet, but she won't let me turn that in. And Adam kind of looked and he tried to hold his composure. And he goes, Adam makes Mom smile. Isn't that good, Dad? And he's like, yeah, Connor, yeah. So Connor, I forget what happens to where he gets up and he goes into the back room. I think Johnny posted a new video online and he said, can I just watch Johnny's video, Mom? She goes, yeah, real quick, but you come right back because we got to finish your project. He goes, okay. So he goes in the back and she goes, all right, Adam, what's going on? You're upset about it. He's like, it's just, he didn't go off on it, but he goes, it's just too much. But you know what, Chelsea? I'm going to leave that up to you, and so Johnny comes back and Adam says, so you know what? I think that's when he said, come up with some creative ways. And he goes, look, I'm not going to impose any longer. And I'm thinking, why would you think you were imposing, Adam? Chelsea didn't make you feel you should have called first. What Adam should have done, in my opinion, Adam should have said, you know what, son? Let's see if we can do this together. Let's see if let me help you. Let's come. Let's do this. I don't have nothing to do. Let's do it. He should have done that. But he chose to leave because really he was kind of butthurt inside about Billy doing a project for his son, but he didn't do it with his son. Adam should have done it with his son. He really should have. So he comes down from Chelsea's apartment, and who's sitting on the patio but Billy? See? Now Billy left Lily. What did he do? He went right to the coffee house so he could be close in case Chelsea needs him, so he could be close. Right? Yeah, he's thinking, he's a little sad because Lily broke up with him, but he still needed to be close just in case Chelsea needs him. So Adam kind of let him have. Adam said, you know what, Billy, this is, you really need to stop. And he goes, what are you talking about, Adam? And I'm not really even in the mood for you. He goes, no, you need to stop hovering over Chelsea. And Adam looked at him. He goes, what? This is New Year's Eve, Adam. You mean your plans fell through with Lily? Or something to say, or what? You didn't even have any, couldn't make any because you got to be here hovering over Chelsea. And he said, Chelsea is spending quality time tonight with her son, Billy. You need to go. You need to just not do this. So Adam leaves, and Billy's sitting there because guess where he's at? He was sitting there and he was hovering. He was in the park with Lily and he was hovering, right? Chelsea is fine. He left her. He knew she was fine. She's having a good day, good time. Her son is there, right? So Billy decides, okay, you know what, I'm gonna leave. But then Chelsea and Connor come in, and Connor invites Billy to come up, with them, and blah blah blah. And so Chelsea goes, if you're not doing anything, and he goes, sure, but Chelsea's looking at him like something's going on, but she didn't want to say because really you're not gonna say it in front of Connor, but she didn't care either, right? So now Billy goes with Chelsea and Connor back to their place. So we have Diane. Oh, she's meeting with Stark, and she is just Diane. Ooh, I'm so bored with what's happening here. Let's pick up where we left off. Let's do something dangerous. And he's like, wait, what? He's thinking, I just got out of jail, chick. Let's do something that I can get your money back. Now, see, what kind of sense does that make? Stark already has double the money. See, that whole story, it makes no sense. Stark's all about money. He's all about what he could score. Why would you do something dangerous with Diane just so you could score $250,000 when you have something very undangerous, a cool million, and you're not jeopardizing your parole? Oh, but she's working him, she's talking, and he's like, no. He goes, it's interesting how you just showed up in town right after Jack offered me, money to leave. And she goes, Jack Abbott offered you money? Well, how would I know that? No. She goes, first I was afraid. It was a knee-jerk reaction. And he says, but look at you sitting right in front of me. You don't look afraid at all. And she's like, well, because I've had some time to think. And that's when she came up with, and I miss what we had. I miss this, that, and the other. So he left and he goes, I'll think about it. And she's sitting at the table thinking, what's going to be my next move? And Jack comes from around the pillar because Jack was pasted up against the back listening. against the back wall, just listening to them. Any other time, somebody else would have walked in society and say, "Hey, Jack, what you doing?" Mm-hmm. But no, Jack was able to paste up there the whole conversation. And as he's listening, part of his face is like just listening to Diane while her way through that. And he's thinking, he should have been thinking, ooh, how much of that she's doing to him has she been doing to me and my son? Huh. He didn't think that though, did he? He did not think, oh, she's good. Mm. So they go back to the house, and now we're getting to New Year's Eve. And we've got him at the house, and Happy New Year happens. So he grabs her hand and pulls her closer. Happy New Year, Diane. Because she was saying something, I like the person that I am when I'm with you. And he says, I like the person that I am when I'm with you too. And he grabs her hand, pulls her close, and oh, this is their passionate kiss. They're all knee deep into it. This is the definite passionate kiss that they have, right? As Lang Syne is being sung. Well, one thing I didn't talk about, and I'm not going to spend too much time with, Nick brought Sally soup and crackers and ginger ale for her little stomach bug. Chloe shows up later, and then Sally tells her she thinks she's pregnant, and she's like, "Well, look, having a baby by Nick Newman, you can't do much worse than that." And so then Sally goes, "But," and the way she looked like the butt dumb, and Chloe says, "Wait a minute, look, there's no way the baby could be Adam's. You and Adam haven't been together in months." And so then she looked at Sally. Sally, it has been months, right? And Sally's like, "Oh, well, we did get together really, it was 3 days ago, but now it's a couple weeks, but now it's 3 days ago. Nick was actually 2 days ago. Nick was last night. But anyway, Sally goes, well, it was a closure thing, and we needed it. We both need, and the same thing she told Nick, whatever. And Chloe is like, oh my God. So then she goes, it was just, we said goodbye. We went our separate ways, except maybe now might not be goodbye. Oh, so she asked Chloe to go get her a pregnancy test, because she goes, I can't go into the new year not knowing. Oh, really, really? So they don't show her anymore. But then downstairs, we have Tracy at the bar. Now, mind you, they're finally at the Grand Phoenix, but they're in the lobby of the Grand Phoenix. The lobby versus maybe they didn't go upstairs to Noah's Club, but they're just in the lobby of the Grand Phoenix. Well, I don't really like Noah's Club anyway. I could see why not. But anyway, Danny says, excuse me, is this seat taken? And Tracy was ordering her drink from the bartender. She goes, no. I'm alone, no problem. And then he starts talking again. He goes, because I would love to sit here. And she's catching his voice. And she turns and she looks, and it's Danny. And oh, she was so happy to see Danny. And they were talking. They were sitting, they went and sat on the couch, and they started talking some more. And then Lauren comes up. What? And Lauren just, oh my goodness, Danny. And she sits down, and the three of them are talking, and Lauren, it's all about Lauren, all about Finn Morris. Well, now Marchetti and this, and this. And she goes, hey, Danny, have you heard of Tessa Porter? Well, she is the face of Marchetti. And you know what? And he goes, yes, I know of Tessa Porter. And she goes, well, good. Because he goes, she's a talented singer. And he goes, good. Well, you know what? How about Tessa open for you? Or maybe you and Tessa could do a duet. And Tracy goes, Lauren, slow down, Lauren. Can't the man have a night off? You're talking all business. Maybe he wants to just relax. And so Lauren looks at her. You're talking like you're the president of his fan club. You're not still the president, are you? And Tracy's like, Lauren, because Lauren snapped right back into her mean girl persona that she had, because Lauren was the mean girl and a bully in high school, and Tracy was her target. She made Tracy's life a living heck in high school. Okay. A couple of years ago, probably 3 years ago, Lauren sincerely apologized to Tracy, sincerely. And, Tracy accepted her apology because Lauren was like, I was awful and I made your life miserable. And she goes, no matter what I had, because she's the heiress to Fenmore's, she goes, I was miserable and I wanted to make you miserable. So anyway, because, there was that whole rivalry. Tracy would sing with Danny. I saw some flashbacks. Tracy would sing with Danny, and then they formed a little duet thing as Danny was coming up, and then Lauren got in the group too. So because Lauren could sing too. So then because she wanted to make sure she was front and center, nudging out Tracy, it was just a whole big thing. So Michael then comes in and he goes, oh my goodness, it looks like an old, reunion. And he kisses Tracy on the cheek and he goes, Danny. And they stand up and man hug each other. And Michael says, how's the kidney? And Danny goes, it's doing well, it's doing well. And I was not watching The Young and the Restless at that time, because I was more of an All My Children, General Hospital, and then One Life to Live, if I felt like watching One Life to Live. I was not a CBS person. So I don't know the storyline on how Michael ended up donating a kidney to Danny, all of that. So anyway, they all hung out and they rang in the new year. They did their toast, and then Danny starts singing Old Lang Syne, and then Tracy starts, she comes in, and then Lauren comes in, and I'm thinking those two women, they did very, very, they actually did to me, not almost. To me, they sounded better than Danny, Lauren and Tracy. But actually, the three of them, their voices really actually did pretty well together. So as Old Lang Syne they're singing it, now we go, Lily is still sitting in the cold at the park, crying on that bench. And then she gets a text from Daniel saying Happy New Year. And Billy now is just leaving Chelsea's house. Connor fell asleep on the couch because he was going to try to stay awake till 12, right? So Chelsea's letting him out the door. She's smiling. She's saying, thank you, Billy. Happy New Year. And he turns and he's kind of looking sad. And he said, Happy New Year, to you. And he turns and walks away. And as he's walking away, she's kind of like, yeah, this is what I am. Because look, everybody, before she went off the rails, what was Chelsea envisioning? She was envisioning herself, Connor, Billy, and Johnny as a family. That's what Chelsea was envisioning. And guess what seems to be happening? So anyhow, and then that's when, of course, Jack lip locks Diane, shows Adam drinking alone at society. But anyway, that was it. Today, I can't see too much really happening today. It was almost like maybe they won't have an episode today. I didn't hear that. Well, yes, actually, at the end, they said next week on The Young and the Restless. So perhaps there is no episode tomorrow. I mean, on Friday, tomorrow. We'll see. Otherwise, if there is no episode, then I'm going to, let's go to Comic Corner, and then I'll just say my Happy New Year to everybody after that, just in case there's no episode. So we got Sheila says Laura Lee Bell is Christina on The Young and the Restless, which is Chris. Now she goes by, and Danny used to call her Cricket. She's Danny's ex, Paul's current wife. Yes. Dito said the scene you see this week of Diane and Jeremy is the real Diane Jenkins. I believe that too, wholeheartedly. That's not the new and improved 2.0 version she's trying to pass off. Nope, I believe it. Bill Bell, or William Bell, I think, is the creator of The Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. In my last post, I think I misspoke in my comment, and my comment was misunderstood. I was talking about a triangle between Chelsea, Adam, and Billy. I was speaking of a Who's Your Daddy storyline and comparing one to Sally, Nick, and Adam. My vote is Adam is the father. I don't think Kyle and Summer is going to make it through 2022. Okay, on your predictions, Dito, I agree with you. I think ultimately Adam is going to be the father of Sally's baby. I just do. No, Summer, I don't even give Summer and Kyle, if they make it to Valentine's Day, because like I said, now the rose-colored glasses, the veil is just ripped away from Summer. Now she's truly seeing she's going to see what Diane is all about. See, and let's talk about Diane's plan of doing something with Jeremy, or pretending to do, and what she's going to then turn him in. Okay, what if, and not what if, it will go wrong. And then talk about putting her whole family in danger once Jeremy realizes she was playing him. See, Diane is the one bringing the true trouble. The true trouble. Because why wouldn't she just come to him and say, okay, you got me. I said I spent your $250,000. I really didn't. Okay. But I have to go and get it. Or when she left town and came back, he said, oh, but you left. And she should have said, yeah, I left. I lied. I didn't have your money. It was stashed away in a safety deposit box in Los Angeles. I flew to LA and I got your money. Here it is. See, wouldn't that story work? That story would work. So anyway, Libby says, I'm so tired of the show busting up good couples, but I guess that's life, both in soap opera land and the real world. And Libby says, well, darn. I didn't get my other prediction done in time to make the last comment corner. My prediction is something I mentioned before, and that Jeremy and Diane are in cahoots. Something more is going on. I agree with you, Libby. It's not face value. It's not. But because you see the way he looks at Diane, and he goes, I'd forgotten how good you look walking into a room, which is another reason why he warned her the feds were onto him. There's more than meets the eye with those two. And then Libby also says William Bell, that's correct. Victor lost his dang mind protecting Victoria over Ashlyn, but getting his jockeys in a knot over that spectral woman. Sally didn't cause near as much damage as Ashlyn did. Victoria almost lost the company behind Ashlyn. He also forgot that he was supposed to call Nikki my baby and Victoria sweetheart, because I think he called Victoria my baby, right? And that, yeah, Nikki is my baby and Victoria's sweetheart. I don't know what Abby is. I don't think Abby's anything. And then Libby says the prop department and Y&R lost their dang mind. Where are they finding all this big food, right? That pastry was almost the size of Chloe's head. What is that? And so And then she's talking about the big food and little carrots too, right? That Tucker was cutting. That's crazy. And then she says that scene flashed me back to a time when I was pregnant and a kid put a purple marker that smelled like grapes right up to my nose and her stomach did a flop. Yeah, I know pregnancies make you sensitive. I also craved donuts and could have eaten one the size of that Cinnabon. LOL. That is funny. And Jack lost his dang mind, hiding behind the column like he is 007 or something. Peter Bergman has to have a come to Jesus moment with the writers about how stupid they're making him look. They really are. Jack is just, I'm so through with Jack. Monique says there's a difference between listening and hearing. Victoria needs to know the difference. She heard Victor, but she wasn't listening. That is so true. Annette says, will Tessa and Mariah raise Sally's baby? Libby says, oh, that's what I thought. Sally will leave town to avoid a dust up with all the Newman men and secretly pass her baby on to Tessa and Mariah. I don't know how that would work. I don't know the logistics of that. Annette says, Nick wants a girl, just like the one dear old dad has. A girl. Nick has two girls. He has Summer, Supergirl, and he has Faith. So Nick has daughters. He has actually two biological daughters, one biological son, and then an adopted son, Christian. And then Charlotte says, I couldn't believe Phyllis's daughter did that to her. And then Diane brought on this problem. No dumb Jack is going to bed with her. I'm going to be sorry. Well, Jack is going to go to bed with her. I just don't know if they're going to make it New Year's Eve, but they just might. They honestly just might. So that's it for Comment Corner. Comment Corner, thank you so much for all your comments. And if there is no Young and the Restless tomorrow, I want to tell all of you Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans, thank you so much for spending these last 7 months with me, 7. And may 2023 be a really great YNR recap year. For sure, we're close. I'm at like 738 subscribers. We're on a race to 1,000. A race to 1,000. So hopefully, what are your predictions, everybody? Do you think we'll get to that 1,000 by February and March? Subscribe. Tell your friends about this YouTube channel because it is a lot of fun and it is like talking to family. And I love you all updating me on things I don't know, like William Bell's name. So anyway, have a great weekend. Have a happy new year if I don't talk to you tomorrow.